First, to start off, hello, and a very good evening to everyone. Thank you for all being here today. My name is Chao, and I'm the founder of One Good Card, a company that has modernized, thank you, and reinvented the traditional business card for the digital age today. And I'm also a proud alumnus of NgeeAnnPolytechnic. Hashtag my kind of extra. Today, I want to share a few moments from my entrepreneurship journey where luck and risk have played a part in shaping this journey here. A story of what I call the gamble of opportunity. In the past 5 years of my entrepreneurship journey, there were many moments where two factors, luck and risk, have influenced my journey. They're like two sides of the same coin. You can't quite have one without the other. Now, why? Luck creates opportunities. And risk is the price we pay to seize these opportunities. All right, take a moment to soak that in. Now, right now, what I want to share with you are some of these quick snapshots of these moments where luck and risk have influenced my pathway. Okay, enjoy the pictures. That's me. That's also me. Again, that's me. Want to take a guess? That's me too. All right, that's it. Thank you all for your time. I wish you a wonderful evening. Please, calm down. That was just a joke. All right, please stay seated. Now, in the next 15 minutes, I'll be sharing these moments with you. Moments where luck and risk played a part in shaping my pathway, and hopefully inspire you to find yours as well. Before I embarked on my journey as an entrepreneur, I found myself asking this question over here. What is my calling? Well, I wasn't an entrepreneur. Not yet, at least. I was an airman. And in a bid to discover my calling, I signed on to the Air Force as Weapons Systems Officer Fighter and spent 3 years of my life dedicated to this role. And no, that's not me. I found it on Google. I just thought it looked cool. And I loved the job. It was cool, it was glamorous, you get to fly planes, you get to train overseas. And honestly, the best part of it, I got to put on a flight suit, I mean not this, with Ray-Bans on. And it makes me feel a little bit like Tom Cruise in Top Gun. Any fans of Top Gun here? How about the original 1986 Top Gun? Great. I mean, we have people with great taste here today at least. Now, I was a big fan, and I loved it. In fact, I think I may have loved it a bit too much. Unfortunately, things took an unexpected turn. As during a seemingly routine altitude training that I had, I suffered an injury to my ears. Barrel trauma. And for the months that followed, I was grounded. I couldn't fly. And I visited specialists, hopefully to regain my clearance to fly again. But it never came. And I could never fly again. What I once thought was my calling came to an abrupt end. Just like that. Out of the blue. And in that moment, in a lucky twist, luck blessed me. I was given a second chance to stay on in the Air Force, but in a different role, as a drone pilot. Now, to me, it may be lucky at the point of time, but it was a challenge because that meant that now I was at crossroads. I was put on two very different pathways. One, to stay on in a pathway where it felt safe and familiar, or the other, to take a risk, to venture into uncertainty. Now, what it made me realize was that this was more than just a career change. It was a question of whether I wanted comfort or I wanted growth. Comfort, on one hand, it meant to stay on, holding on to stability, but potentially letting go of immense growth. Growth was about being uncomfortable, starting afresh, doing something different, and potentially failing as well. Now, luck to me in this moment wasn't about getting a second chance. It wasn't. It was the opportunity for myself to stop, think, and reevaluate. What is my calling? And that made me realize what I really wanted was growth. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to turn $5 to $10 and $10 to $100. Not for the sake of money itself, but because it represented progress. And it was proof that I could achieve something from nothing. It was a moment of realization that in order to achieve real growth, I had to take risks. I had to step out my comfort zone. And I had to trust the process. Growth isn't just about reaching your goals. It's about finding purpose in what you wanted to do. And for myself, that was my next chapter, to find purpose in what I wanted to do. So my question still stands today, at the point in time. What is my calling? Now fast forward, it is the outbreak of COVID-19, and I just lost my job. And it was quite a weird world out there, right, at the point of time. A slight cough will get you death stares in public, like that, okay? They'll get you death stares in public. And you can break the law just by standing next to someone. That was quite a crazy world, right? Now you see, to me, that was the opportunity. Amidst this odd new world out there, they also meant that there were new problems looking to be solved. The question was, where? Now that's why I started this practice that I still do today. Whenever I encounter a problem or a minor inconvenience in my life, I'll write it down in my phone or my notes. And I'll come up with solutions to that problem. I know it sounds tedious, it sounds like it's a lot of work. But trust me, it's one of the simplest yet most effective ways to train your mind to think like a problem solver. And I repeated that process for months until I found my aha moment. What was the defining challenge during COVID-19? Getting a Nintendo Switch? Playing Animal Crossing? No, it was limiting physical contact. Suddenly, even the simplest gestures, like a handshake or exchanging a business card, became nearly impossible overnight. Yet, the need to connect, the need to network, and the need to maintain and build relationships didn't just disappear. And it was this stark contrast that got me thinking. In a world where, for the first time, we were forced to interact more virtually than physically, had a barrier. That was the opportunity. What if I could reimagine the handshake? Not just as a gesture, but as a seamless bridge between the physical and digital experiences. That became my calling, or for some text on my notes. Now, an idea was just the beginning. Luck may have given me the spark, but to make it a reality, it meant that I had to start taking risks. I recalled in my earlier crossroad that I faced. What I wanted was the pursuit of growth. So I challenged myself to do exactly that. I wanted to create a tech product, but I had no tech experience. So I learned how to code. I wanted to create an experience that was easy to use and that makes sense. So I studied UX UI. I wanted to turn this into reality, but I had no funding. So I bootstrapped. I poured every single cent of my money to find the right tools, the right materials, the right machineries to turn it into reality. But then came the toughest part, figuring it out. I spent weeks that felt like years scouring internet forums, watching endless tutorials, testing countless prototypes. Some days, nothing worked. Other days, a small breakthrough kept me going. But one thing's for sure, I never forgotten why I did this. I wanted to grow. I had a purpose. So I pushed on. After many trial and error and learning through failure, I did it. I finally created the MVP, the minimum viable product of One Good Card, version 1. The first smart contactless business card in Singapore. It was scrappy, it wasn't perfect, but it worked. Now, at this point in time, I have a product, but there were still many questions that weren't answered. How would the market respond to this? Who's my target audience? And most importantly, can I turn this product into a viable business? These were questions that had to be answered. And I knew that to answer these questions, I couldn't do it all by myself. I needed a team. An A-team, or as I like to call it, the Avengers. Now, okay, I mean, this is not how they actually look like, and for the record, I have no affiliation to Marvel or the Avengers. Just a reference. Now, I gathered people that were driven, talented, and each brought something different to the table. But most importantly, these are the people that saw the same vision that I saw, to reimagine the handshake. So this is how I imagine that moment to look like, something like that. Now, it got me thinking. A common question that I get very often. When you're first starting out the business, should I do it myself or should I do it with a team? My take is, it depends. Starting a business isn't easy. And sometimes, more often than not, we realize that we have gaps in our competencies, in our knowledge, in our resource. And there's two things you can do. One, you take the time to learn and figure out yourself. Or two, you find people that are able to fill in these gaps for you. And that's what I did. I reached out. I looked for individuals that brought real value to the team. People with the right skill sets, the right expertise, and most importantly, the alignment in values. People that valued growth mindset. Not only as an individual, but as a collective. And as a collective, we were like a well-oiled machine. We were efficient, we were brilliant. Within 2 weeks, we created a website, we started running ads, and we officially launched One Good Card. Brilliant. Now all we have to do is sit back and relax and enjoy the success. In the first 6 months since we launched, we have done a whopping negative $20,000 in profits. And we gained an astounding 300 users. And the best part of it, half of them were our friends. And just like that, we have burned out all of our initial capital, and now we all have to work 2 jobs. Well, as you've seen earlier, mine was Foodpanda, which I'm very thankful for. You allowed me to prolong this entrepreneurial dream of mine just by cycling and delivering food at night. Well, was it worth it? I think absolutely yes. Now the truth was, in that first 6 months since we launched, we were experimenting. We were finding out who our core target audiences were. We were fine-tuning our marketing strategy to attract the right people, and we were improving our sales processes to make it more efficient. But most importantly, we were unafraid to put ourselves out there. Those first 300 users that I just talked about, we reached out to every single one of them. We spoke to them, listened to them, and find out, how has this improved your experience? What can we do better? Does this work well? What were the issues? And we improved. Honestly, it wasn't easy. There were a lot more things that we had to do to make it work. And there were a lot of times where it makes you realize, are the risks really worth the rewards? As a lot of times, it feels like it wasn't. But we pushed on because we believed in what we did. And just like that, one day we met a breakthrough. In a lucky twist, we met one of our largest potential clients at that point of time, and we did what we did best. We sold the mission with passion. And they recognized that. They recognized the passion, they recognized the mission, and they took the risk to not only come on board as a client, but importantly, as our first investors. And that gave us the resources that we lacked to do more. And finally, our hard work seems to be paying off. As we are finally getting market traction, we were picked up by mainstream media. Next moment, we were featured on Channel News Asia. We had articles written about us on Vulcan Post. We were invited on national radio stations to share our story. And then we exploded. Today, we serve over 2,000 companies and connected over 120,000 users worldwide with our solution. It wasn't easy. It was the culmination of hard work, luck, risk, and most importantly, the unrelenting pursuit of growth. Every step of the way, we remembered we did this because we want to be better. And finally, I guess I can say that the gamble paid off. Now, I want to end off by sharing with you some of the things that I learned. Luck and risk are inseparable elements of any entrepreneur's journey. Luck is like the spark, and risk is like the fuel that keeps it going. There are many times in my life, luck has offered me opportunities. But it was risk and the willingness to take it that made it real. And as I stand here today, I can honestly say that I found my calling. If there's one thing I hope that you can take away from this sharing, when luck comes your way, don't hesitate to seize it. And when you face risk, embrace it. It is through embracing both luck and risk can you uncover your greatest potential. Now, before I wrap up, just one question to leave it with you guys. The next time when luck comes knocking on your door, will you be ready to risk it all and answer the call? Thank you, and I wish you all a wonderful evening.